7. Signs that your partner is emotionally unavailable? Feel like you're giving your all but still feeling alone? Learn to spot the real signs of emotional unavailability, understand why it happens, and take clear steps to protect your emotional well-being, whether it's your partner or yourself. Emotional unavailability, on the other hand, is the inability to connect with your own emotions and the emotions of others. Emotionally unavailable people tend to shy away from deep conversations, avoid emotional intimacy, and might even disappear for days or weeks before reappearing like nothing happened. Being with someone like this can leave you feeling like you're constantly chasing them, never truly knowing where you stand.
It's a common belief that emotional unavailability means someone just isn't interested. But that's not always the case. Sometimes, emotional distance stems from pain, healing after a breakup, or simply not being ready for a serious relationship. Regardless of the reason, emotional unavailability creates insecurity, leaving one partner feeling unloved, helpless, frustrated, lonely, and confused.
Emotional unavailability isn't about being quiet, independent, or thoughtful in a different way. It's about an ongoing inability, or unwillingness, to engage emotionally, especially when connection is needed most. Here are 7 signs of emotional unavailability in a partner. They're never around when it matters. An emotionally distant person often isn't physically available either. They tend to avoid spending meaningful time with you, especially when there's a risk of deeper conversations. They don't want anything formal and will always insist on keeping things casual. Whenever you complain about them not spending enough time with you, they may randomly call while having a drink and ask you to join them. But they rarely make time for intentional, meaningful conversations. 2. They're inconsistent with communication, attention, and affection. An emotionally unavailable person will take you on an emotional roller coaster. They're all over you 1 minute, wanting to spend time with you, then suddenly pulling away. This erratic behavior can leave you feeling confused and frustrated. Someone who seems warm and engaged one moment but disappears the next, especially when you need them most, sends mixed emotional signals. 3. They avoid intimacy. People don't just wake up emotionally distant, it stems from somewhere. Events in their past may have made them wary of vulnerability and emotional closeness. Deep down, they are afraid of being hurt again or feeling uncomfortable. As a result, they avoid emotional conversations. They rarely express their emotional needs clearly or share what they feel about you or the relationship. Emotionally closed-off people avoid both their own feelings and those of others. That's why when you talk about deeper issues, they might change the subject, get defensive, or go completely silent. 4. They're reluctant to commit. You may know the type, the ones who say, "Let's just ride along and see where this goes." They avoid labels. They dodge questions like, "Who are we?" Since they don't want to be emotionally invested, they hesitate to make long-term commitments, and they definitely don't want to talk about marriage or moving in. 5. They're quick to end relationships. Emotionally unavailable people tend to end relationships at the first sign of discomfort or conflict, rather than working through challenges. Before getting too deeply involved with someone, check their relationship history. A pattern of short-lived or shallow relationships can be a major red flag. It may signal they're unwilling or unable to form lasting emotional bonds. 6. They like being in control. Always emotionally distant individuals often prioritize control over connection. They're careful to avoid anything that might deepen the relationship too much or leave them feeling vulnerable. Most decisions they make benefit themselves first. They may seem more interested in spending time with others than investing in your relationship. But the minute someone else shows you attention, they quickly turn back to you, just enough to keep you hanging on. 7. You're always the one compromising. If you're always the one adjusting your schedule, planning the dates, initiating conversations, and making sacrifices to keep the relationship afloat, you're carrying the emotional load alone. Ask yourself, what if I stopped doing all this? Would the relationship survive? If the answer feels like a painful no, it's a sign the relationship depends entirely on your effort. Learning to recognize an emotionally absent person can save you from a toxic relationship that could have wrecked your mental health. While the signs may differ from one situation to the next, and from one individual to the next, trust the patterns you see, set boundaries, and protect your well-being. Want to watch more videos like this? Don't forget to like and subscribe and activate the notifications bell to learn about future videos.
Thank you very much for your kind support.